providing the services to the various kind of stakeholder, not only the across the country, but across the globe. We are really grateful to our past leaders and also the current, our joint director colleagues, and also the chairman board of studies, who are giving really a good services to the nation. And we are also thankful to our all the students. The students are the great assets for this institute. This institute is a brand institute for human resource development for the country. From this institute, the four various institutes have been developed as a full-fledged institutes. These institutes like CARI, CIARI, our CIRG, and NISAD. These were our regional stations, campuses, or divisions. So we are proud in providing the human resource to the country and to providing the torch in various aspects of animal health production and value additions. Through this platform, we have developed more than 50 life-saving vaccines, diagnostics, therapeutics. And we are proud to say that the IVRI is the only platform who have significantly contributed in eradication of different deadly important diseases. And we are the only institute wherein we are providing quality control services of the various veterinary biologicals. If we take only 3 our vaccines, these important vaccines have vaccines like our PPR, classical swine fever, and also brucellosis. These important 3 vaccines have been used in our national animal disease control programs. And these are the only 3 diseases they are contributing significantly per year in terms of money and in terms of providing the health services to the livestock. We are in teaching and training since 1900. During 1958, we have been given the responsibility to establish postgraduate college under Royal University and our Agra University. We are proud to tell that during 1993, 16th November, we have been conferred the deemed university status. Since then, we are imparting the education in 19 discipline PhD and 17 discipline in MBSc, and we are also imparting diploma in 10 various disciplines. So we have a significant milestones in the area of livestock health, productions, and value additions. This is the day we should remember our milestones, and also we should also fix our target for next years to come. In terms of milestone, we keep on discussing the milestones in terms of this development of various vaccines, diagnostics, and also the eradications of various diseases, and also the development of various this herbal based therapeutics, stem cell based therapeutics, and also the biotechnology based various therapeutics. But recently we have also developed two important germ plasma. One is Vrindavani and other is the Langley. These are the two important breeds have been developed by this institute out of crossbreeding and genetic improvement programs. Recently, we have also registered two very important breeds, unique with the unique attributes. These breeds are Royalkhandi and Langley wood. So these are our various achievements, and we are also now. We should let us this is the day. We should have a commitment for this institute. My submission to all our joint director colleagues and also the chairman board of studies and our 99 young scientists who are working at this institute. Kindly remember the commitment which we have made 1 year ago. So this is our role and responsibility. Whatever the commitment we have given to the council, to the government, this is our responsibility that we should fulfill these commitment. The commitment number one. Let us remember our commitment. Under National Education Policy, we are committed. We are committed to move forward to make our higher education flexible, multidisciplinary, and also holistic. Let us take this opportunity, how this deemed university can be developed into the institution of eminence. In order to implement national education policy, there is a need to transform this deemed university into the institutions of global repute. My dear colleague, in order to transform this whole deemed university into the global into the premium, we have to, number one, we have to excel. We have to have academic and operational excellence. We have first priority, we have to have academic excellence. And we have to develop our system in a way so that there should be ease of doing research. Operational excellence means we must have a academic, research, and administrative governance in such a way so that there should not be any there should be a ease of doing research. We should work for enhancing the research outcomes and research output of the institutes. Then only we will be able to develop the excellence in various administrative, academic, and financial activities of the institute. So now, second very important aspect in making this institute of global repute is we have to develop the world-class infrastructures. In order to maintain the relevance of this institute, we have to revisit and reorient our thinking, because we are already running 10 years behind. So the developing world-class infrastructure is our priority. Now, how this will be developed, I will just come later on, but this is our priority. And other important is financial sustainability. In order to develop financial sustainable system in this institute, my submission to all senior officials, all joint director colleagues, and all our chairman board of studies, they have to exploit our institutional internal resources in order to generate revenue through goods and services. So we are on the way. We are already, whatever the goods and services we are providing to various state biologicals, various industries, and various stakeholders, we have already revised the fees, revised the other licensing fees, and you will be glad to know in 21 and 22, there was a 9 crore revenue from this institute. Now 21 and 22, we have jumped to 12 crore rupees. So this is the commitment, and you see now you will have the visible outcome. Now we have already revised the fee structure of our institute, UG, PG, and PhD students. We have also enhanced the number of seats, 25% number of seats, and we have also initiated the paid seats in our BBSc programs and also the NRI seats. So there will be a quantum jump in the revenue. And also we are seriously thinking, revising our cost of license fee, which we have developed in this institute over the period of time. We have also sincerely thinking that we have the client government of Uttar Pradesh. We are trying to supply the semen of outstanding bulls from these platforms. So these are the way how we can improve make the system self-sustainable. Now, yet to come, the system who is not self-sustainable, and the system which are not generating the revenue through the internal resources, or the system who is not tapping the grant from national and international agencies, the system will be futile. System will be obsolete, and our relevance will be lost. So my submission to all of you, we are really great. We are really thankful to our all member of all head of divisions. They are really working hard for making this system self-sustainable. And now we should have the international network. We should have a greater collaboration with the international organizations. So under caste, you will be glad to know that the caste project we have started during 2017. And in this caste project, we have developed state-of-art infrastructure. And also we have sent our faculty and student, 75 plus faculty and student we have trained in 11 world-class laboratories in across the globe. So, and also this These activities have given a great strength to develop our international network with the institutions of global reviews. So recently we are in operations 4 international projects. Recently we got 1 international project from Melbourne, Australia, and we are expecting 3 international projects from various countries. We are on the way. So this my submission to all of you: kindly see how best we can excel and how best we can have a greater collaboration with national and international agencies. Now we have witnessed the pandemic COVID-19 past 2 years. So the digitization of education is one of the attributes in order to make this institute of global reviews. So digitization of the education is must now. So we are working hard, making initiating several the courses, certificate courses, diploma courses, and also you see vocational education courses through online and also open and distance learning programs, ODL. We are in this session only. We will be initiating various you see online certificate courses and also the diploma and vocational education courses. So this digitization of the education is one of the important attribute making this deemed university into the global attributes. So this is our priority. And the last important is civic contribution. Each and every organizations, if they are really wants that this institute should be transformed into the institute of eminence, the institute must have a outreach activities, the excellent outreach activities in terms of various extension, communications, and other activities. So in this area also we have started working hard. We are also seriously thinking to start 2 additional PG programs, like PG program in this communication and other important PG programs in this civic contributions area. So, and we are also working hard to develop a startup ecosystem at this institute. We have already, you see, we have an ecosystem. We around, you see, a total number of 125 entrepreneurs we have already developed through our RKVY Raftar and ABI schemes. So these 2 schemes are very important. So my submission to all our faculties who are working in these teams. These teams are you see projects are very important for all of us in making this institute into global affairs. So we have to develop we have a role and responsibility to develop a unique the startup ecosystem. So we are on the way. So why I am repeating these important attributes making this deemed university into the global of eminence? Because we are already working hard. We have to restructure, we have to consolidate our activity so that we may be able to have a greater visibility in the system in order to make this in order to enhance the brand image of this institute. Because you see, whatever we are working, whatever we are doing, if we are not visible in the system, then I think there will be a less use. We have to be visible in the system. we have to enhance the brand image of the IVRI, so that we can attract the policy makers, the higher officials working in the government, in order to support the system. So this is the way we are working, and you see, we have a competency, we have a capability. In order to have this two examples, I would like to share with all of you that with our capability, we have been given the chance to establish one college of veterinary science in NCR. So we have already given the proposal. So this is the capability, competency of this system, that they have given this opportunity to all of us. And you see, similarly, IVRI have also been recognized for wildlife health management. Keeping in view of the capability and infrastructure in this institute, the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, they also requested for our consent to establish the referral lab for wildlife health management at Junagadh and Gujarat. You see, they are a world class in the referral lab with the world class infrastructure they want to establish there, and whole amount of money will be spent by Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, and we are the only the human resource who will be managing this important lab. So this is the just two examples I want to give for our competency. You see, now we got the excellent opportunity in our CAST ACLS, World Bank, our NAHP programs, World Bank funded NAHP program. Now these programs will be completed by next year. Now we are seriously thinking, and my submission to all of our senior scientists, they should also think what would be the beyond CAST ACLS programs. Because CAST ACLS program have given a wonderful opportunity to all of us, developing the state-of-art infrastructure in this institute, one, and second, the national and international training opportunity to our student and faculty. So we have to think beyond caste. So we have several dialogues in the education division of ICAR, and we are seriously thinking that what would be the important programs to be handled by this institute after this CAST ACLS. And you see, the another programs, we have been given the responsibility under this, you see, under NHP 2A, we have been given the responsibility to develop artificial intelligence based important ICT platforms, which will be responsible for diagnosis of the diseases based on the images of various diseases. So this is the responsibility given to us. So our team is working hard in order to make this platform viable. And also here you see, now it is a high time we must think to create future ready infrastructure. You see, not only future ready infrastructure at this institute, but also our main campuses and regional stations. The future ready infrastructure like BSL3, we have already working. We had already submitted 3 important programs for developing this BSL3 infrastructure at IVRI Nagar, Mukteshwar, and also Bangalore, and under DST programs. We are really thankful to our team who has developed these programs. And we have also developed one important programs under Aviation 3. For development of Aviation 3, this IVRE team have submitted this program. So under DST, we are regularly making our linkage so that this, you see, in addition to VSL 3 and VSL 3 infrastructure, we must have a modern PM halls, post-mortem halls. We don't have animal challenge site, we must have animal challenge sites and biomedical waste medical facilities. These are the requirement of the days. So we are working hard. And you see, our existing laboratories are also, they are well-equipped existing laboratories, but they are old. So we are thinking that, and majority of our laboratories, they are not, all the laboratories, they are not fulfilling the GLP requirement. So we are seriously thinking that we have already identified 7 laboratories. Some of the laboratories at our IVI campus, these laboratories is like our the Dermatology Center, one laboratory, and other important laboratories in standardization and other cataract, and we have a food safety laboratories, and also 3 laboratories, PPR, goat pox, and you see other important lab at Mukteshwar. 3 labs we have defined there, Mukteshwar, to have a NABL accreditation. Now, you see, if we want to give services to the nation or services to various stakeholders, not only for livestock health and management, but in order to develop, in order to generate the revenue as we are expecting, we have to have NABL accreditation. So 7 laboratories we have already identified, and documentation we have already submitted for some of the laboratories. And in addition to this, our PPR lab at Mukteshwar have been identified in the network of the World. This OI has already identified in the network of the reference lab for PPR. So we are within 15 or 20 days, we will be able to submit the document to what the World Organization of Animal Health, OIE. So this is our commitment. So we are on the way, and you see, in order to face to handle the difficult pathogen and also the R&D challenges in the future, we have to have GMP, GLP compliant laboratories for you see, immunodiagnostics. So we are working hard, and we are really grateful to our administrative and our whole team who are connected with this. Weekly we are monitoring, and I think within a month the work will be initiated for developing this very important GMP and GLP compliant as this institute. So we are trying hard to enhance the R&D and quality control infrastructure and the infrastructure related to the UG, PG education at this institute. But the money from ICAR, EFC, and also the money from various national and international agencies will be or seems to be very inefficient. Whatever the amount of money will be required in order to develop the world-class infrastructure at this institute, there is a need to have one-time grant of this 133 years old of Heritage Institute. So on 4th May, we had a review. Honorable Agriculture Minister had a review of IVRI, followed by the ATR of this month only. We have already placed our requirement or our future vision of this institute, that we are 133 years old heritage institute, and we have 6 labs, heritage laboratories at institute, and almost 80% heritage and 90% heritage at our Muktisha. We need one-time grant in order to strengthen the R&D and QC infrastructure of this institute. So we have already submitted the programs to the institutes, and already the Department of Agriculture, Research and Education, they are making the provision, giving one-time grant to the institute which are 50 years, more than 50 years old. Under this, they have already placed 1,500 crore rupees to give one-time grant to the institutions which are 50 years and we are the institute, the oldest institute in the ICAR. So we are pursuing hard. We are working hard because it's the resource crunch. During the resource crunch, we are really grateful to our leader who are working sincerely in developing the infrastructure at various ICR institutes. They are sincerely thinking to give one-time grant to various institutes, old institutes. So we have already submitted the programs, making this IVRI as an institute of eminence. And the last here, I would like to tell to all of you that without improving our R&D and quality control infrastructure at this institute, we will not be able to maintain our relevance. So this is our thrust and this is our focus, how best we can develop the infrastructure at this institute, and also we can work on the national priorities, because government is also expecting from all of us. Government has already defined the national priorities for this institute. They have already, and these national priorities have been monitored by a group of ministers and group of secretaries committees. So we, you see, there are 3 programs. 3 programs have been monitored by GOS and GOM. One important programs have been regularly monitored by the PMO is we have to establish the you see development FMD vaccine development unit at Elanka, either on development through development grant or through PPP mode. We have already made 2-3 presentations before the Honorable AM, along with the Honorable AM Animal Husbandry and Dairy and Honorable Agriculture Minister also. This is the requirement of the nation, and we must have our, because we have seen the quality of and vaccine during last period. So in order to have a quality of vaccines and also making and also giving the deficit amount of the vaccine to the nation, we have to have the one FMD vaccine production unit with capacity. under the government controls or under the triple P model. So these are the programs we are really working hard. So here, just now we have been recognized by government organizations in view of our past achievement, past infrastructures, and past commitment of our previous leaders. But this is now the expectations of the you see present in order to face the present challenges also. So this so in the last I really salute with our calls. We have submitted 133 projects in various external agencies, and 13 projects have sir, sparing your valuable time, giving the focus on, you see, One Health activities. And Dr. Lahariya has also worked in World Health Organizations in the past, and I think very soon he's also going to join this WHO. And we know he was the instrument in formulating this. We know his contribution during COVID-19. We also know, and he is the director foundation for the people-centric health system, New Delhi. I am sure that all the faculty, staff, and student will be immensely benefited with the thoughts, vision, and valuable lecture of Dr. Lahariya. So I, and on behalf of our student, faculty, and staff, I take this opportunity to thanks Dr. Lahariya for sparing his valuable time. And I also thank one and all to all the our chairman, board of state joint director, colleagues, and students participating in this important foundation day. And let us to really rededicate us, because these institutions have given a lot of respect to all of us. Our recognitions, our respect, not only to us, our family is because of this Indian Veterinary Research Institute. Let us pledge to sincerely, with full of devotion, to rededicate ourselves to this great institutions. And work hard to take to take the glory of IVRA to new heights. So, with this brief, with your all cooperations, with the sincere advice of our seniors and peers, we have to rededicate ourselves to enhance the image of this institute. The brand image will be if we will be able to enhance the image of this institute, our image will automatically improve. So my sincere thanks to all of you for patience hearing of in the end. We are also very grateful to our all alumni, our all joint director colleagues, our all chairman board of studies and faculties. We are really
Thank you so much, sir, for highlighting the glorious past and the achievements of our institute, aptly known as Mecca of Veterinary Sciences. Before we proceed ahead, there is one announcement. You all are requested to please keep your phone on silent mode for smooth online telecast of today's program. Please keep your mobile phones on silent. We are indeed honored to have an internationally acclaimed public health and policy expert with us today, Honorable Founding Director, Foundation for People-Centric Health System, New Delhi, Dr. Chandrakant Lahariya. Dr. Lahariya is MD in Community Medicine and DNB in Social and Preventive Medicine. He was part of World Health Organization in India and coordinated the organization's work on introducing new vaccines in the country. His contribution in drafting India's national vaccine policy, national health policy, and Ayushman Bharat program are widely acknowledged. Dr. Lahariya has been conferred with several awards, including Certificate of Appreciation from Director General, World Health Organization for contribution to polio eradication in India, and Delhi Medical Association Chikitsa Ratan Award for clinical and public health work during COVID-19 pandemic. He is lead author of best-selling book Till We Win, India's Fight Against the COVID-19 Pandemic. We welcome you, sir, and I request you to please address the gathering and enrich us with your immense knowledge.
Good morning. First of all, let me start by thanking Dr. Triveninder, Dr. G. Sai Kumar, and entire faculty of this institution for inviting me to speak here. It's indeed a great honor and pleasure for me. I was looking forward to speak here and talk. I share my some understanding on various aspects. So thank you. Good morning to other faculty members, joint directors, scientists, students, and everyone. It's indeed a pleasure. Rather, I must say that I learned or first read about IBRI around 25 years ago. I don't recall exactly, but maybe around 1997 when I was preparing for my medical studies. So that was the first introduction to IBRI. It was used to be listed among us, always listed among us top institutions. There would be MCQ questions or other aspect about. So IBRI is reputed, well known. So I know or heard about institution in this institution for 25 years, 133-year-old institution. And that makes it very special for me to come here and speak to you today. So thanks again. I'm saying repeated thanks just to highlight that how important, how valuable this is. So thank you. Today, I would like to talk about one of the thing or issue which has become top important in last 20 years. Like One Health is the terminology or word which was not used before year 2003. So I know the institution for longer than the term or concept of One Health. So I'll talk about One Health. And this has become even more relevant, especially in context of COVID-19 pandemic or pandemic period. Without going to more specific, let me deep dive into the talk and the context. What we know that possibilities of epidemics and pandemics were always known, but unfortunately they were not given due attention in terms of preparedness and response to the extent they should have been given. Like pandemics happened from the ancient times, so the populations and civilization had been wiped out by epidemics and pandemics, smallpox, measles, even typhoid pandemics, and plague, of course. And the reality that from the ancient times till now, epidemics and pandemics keep happening. Like when we are talking outbreaks keep happening every day, a few outbreaks are reported from one part of the world. Epidemics are less frequent, but they keep happening, and pandemics are relatively rare, but it's not very rare. Like we are hearing about COVID-19 pandemic, and we keep hearing about 1918, 1920 great influenza pandemic. But there have been many pandemics in between, like influenza pandemic in 1957, 1968, and other smaller level pandemics. So the pandemics are very regular phenomena. In fact, before COVID-19, the last pandemic was in 2009 and 10, H1N1 swine, 2009 swine flu pandemic. We simply forgot. So pandemics are not that rare. Pandemics are very common, epidemics are more common, and outbreaks are regular. Like we must be hearing about measles outbreak in humans, and then there are outbreaks in animals and other. So these are the common things. As far as severity is concerned, there is another concept of public health emergency of international concern. This is the definition which WHO used to designate disease as a global risk. And in between previous pandemics of H1N1 swine flu in 2009 and COVID-19 pandemic, and now till now, there are 7 public health emergency of international concern: twice, polio, Ebola, Zika, and more recently on 23rd July, monkeypox was declared public health emergency of international concern. So these are common. But I go back to the main point that we often do not prepare enough about these pandemics. Global community do not prepare. In fact, following 2009 H1N1 swine flu, in 2018, there was a global discourse that there would be a future pandemic. Of course, nobody could have predicted what that pandemic would be, so they elegantly called it disease X. They thought disease X would emerge and that would be a pandemic. And that by 2018 and 2020, we had this ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. But I also want to argue that every passing day, we are getting closer to the next pandemic. And the risk or probability of epidemic and pandemic is increasing every passing day than yesterday. And why this is happening? The reason include, there are 6 which are listed here. Thank you. So one, the risk of epidemics, pandemic is increasing because of faster modes of transport, which essentially means a human being or animal with a human being, by air mode of transport, can reach from one part of the world to another part of the world after less than 16 hours or definitely less than 24 hours. You can reach from any part of the world within 24 hours. So if a human being can travel to one part to another part within 24 hours, the pathogen lies on him when he's still subclinical stage or early infectious stage can also go on. So the rapid mode of transport is essentially increases the risk of developing or transmission of disease. That's one. The second is the growing population and urbanization, which essentially means overcrowded spaces. So if infection rises in that population, it can spread rapidly to multiple people and through them to different set of populations. So unplanned urbanization, densely populated areas, so that's another challenge. That's why we have an increasing risk of epidemics and pandemics. Third is a deforestation and human encroachment in the forest and more contact between the people and wild. Essentially, we know that there are more viruses. The viruses are more common in the forest and sea and different places. There are 10 to the power 31 viruses on this planet. The absolute number of estimated viruses is 10-fold more than the bacteria. So absolute number of bacteria, estimated bacteria 10 to the power 30. The virus is estimated is 10 to the power 31. Humans are around 8 into 10 to the power 9. So essentially, for every single human being, there are 10 to the power 20, like 1.25 into 10 to the power 21 or 22, 10 to the power 22, that many viruses per human being. So viruses are very common, but more unfortunately, for those viruses are hidden in the forest and places which we do not come into contact with. But if you cut the forest, deforestation or human encroachment in the forest essentially means viruses which were hidden in the forest will come in the human context. And we do not know which of those pathogens could become a dangerous, and that's why we are at a higher risk of, that's why there is increasing risk of epidemics and pandemics. Did we ever wonder why majority of viruses emerge from Africa and other majority from Asia? Because within Africa also from Democratic Republic of Congo or Zaire, which was erstwhile called Zaire, because DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, is a highly natural forest reserve country, but they have a world 60 to 70% of lithium. For the lithium removal from the forest, they are cutting forests. So the viruses which are hidden in those forests are coming in human contact. So usually the African continent has the natural resources, and those natural resources are being exploited for the commercial purpose, and that's why those pathogens are coming in human contact. Unfortunately, they don't have that kind of disease surveillance system that they do not pick up early, and those viruses spread to other parts of the world and also keep affecting those populations. So it's a deforestation which is happening every day. This is a genuine concern. It's a human and environment interface interaction which is harming and which is increasing risk of epidemics, pandemics. That we keep hearing climate change, global warming. Of course, it has multiple challenges, but it has a health risk for also. Every single degree or Fahrenheit rise in the temperature essentially means the pathogens, virus, bacteria, which could not have survived in a particular setting or particular environment, would be able to survive in that setting, will be able to cause disease in additional populations. So climate change and rising temperature essentially increase the risk of human animal diseases and epidemics and pandemic. Then the battery farming or single animal livestock farming. This is like in multiple countries, multiple settings, or the miles and kilometers of areas are used for a farming of pigs or chicken, etc. The H1N1 swine flu of 2009 actually emerged from a pig farm, like big area pig farm in Mexico City. Like the first case was reported from that setting 8 kilometers away. There was a big pig farm, and from that pig farm, due to the mutation, H1N1 emerged. So single animal battery farming, large scale battery farming is one challenge which need to be tackled and which is causing pandemics. Of course, there are other aspects. Human and people's interest in the different kind of meats, livestock, live meats or live animals. That's what the wet market, so-called wet market in Wuhan, China, had, that those animals which are found in forests brought in. So that also increased risk of disease. And finally, and this list is not exclusive, I just enumerated a few. Finally, the indiscriminate use of antimicrobials, which essentially means like heavy dosage of microbials to increase the production, increase the weights, weight of the animals essentially means through a slower rate of, because if animals are given high dose of antibiotics, if human consume those antibiotic individual human will become resistant to those antibiotics, or those antibiotics will be left ineffective, and that will result in antimicrobial resistance. So that's another factor. That so the pathogen of bacteria which could have been killed by the available antibiotics will not be killed anymore because resistance has developed. So all of these factors are resulting that our risk of getting those kind of pathogens which can cause pandemic epidemic is higher. And you will notice that this risk of pandemic is also increasing because of human interventions or human factors, but environmental factor or climate change factor or animal factor. So all of these three are linked. So this is why we are at high risk of pandemics. What we know that there are around 25 families of viruses that can potentially infect human beings, but there are like unknown, so to say, more euphemistically, that around 16 lakh or 1.67 million viruses, of which like nearly one third to half has a capacity to cause human diseases, but they are hidden somewhere. But they keep coming in they keep emerging and cause human diseases, and that's where the concept of disease X was thought that the viruses exist, they have a potential to cause, but we don't know how and when they will emerge. These viruses are emerged, as I said, mainly from Africa, Latin America, and Asia, because these are the parts of the world which are ancient places, which have a natural forests and reserves. So there was one analysis which said that between 1940 and year 2004, there were 335 pathogens which emerged, which cause diseases in humans or animals. Of these, 60% pathogens which cause human disease were zoonotic origin, which actually originated from animals. So majority of new diseases are emerging from animals. So that's a human-animal interaction. And then 71% are emerge from wildlife. And what forest, wild animal lives in a forest. So essentially, the future of disease emergence is very much linked to the human animal forest. That's the point which I want to make repeatedly. And concept, there's a concept, I'm not going to more detail, which ecologic pathogen pyramid. Usually pathogen transition from the environment to the animal specific agents and then human beings. And so this is the change, this is the normal phenomena. If they are in forest, animal lives in forest, they will go to the animal, jump to the animal. From animals, they will jump to the human beings when animals come. So that's the ecological pathogen pyramid, and we cannot do much about pathogens which exist on this planet, but we can definitely control their transfer transmission. I'll go a little quick because some points I've already covered and I'm mindful of the time. Environment definitely the major determinant of human health, animal health, both, especially on human health, like 24% of the total diseases are caused by the environmental changes. The burden of global deaths are linked to the environmental degradation or challenges. So if we take care of environment around us, and which include forests, but animals, and we as integral part of this thing, then the disease burden will improve. It will improve health of humans and animals alike. COVID-19 is further reminder of this entire linkage. We do not know the actual origin, but we definitely know the jump from the animals to the human. And air pollution, extreme weather events, degradation, water scarcity, these environmental challenges are also there. Pollution, plastic. Of course, climate change affect all of this. Climate change, I talked about the most elementary part. We are not discussing more specific like floods or other aspects, cyclones, but element like a rise in the temperature can be devastating. And I'll talk a little more about this thing. And when it comes to rise in the temperature, it affects multiple ways. Heat-related illnesses, respiratory illnesses, waterborne illnesses, zoonosis, vector borne disease. So climate change would affect everyone, humans, animals, water, climate, and our surrounding, and it will affect health of everyone. So global temperature increase between 1.5 degrees Celsius is largely broadly established. And it is being, that's what the global discourse is, that we should make every effort to reduce the rise in the temperature. Climate change will not be innocuous. This will result in estimated 250,000 to plus additional deaths between 2030 to 2050. More pathogen will survive. I discuss about those aspects. Mosquito will spread to new settings, or the vector-borne diseases will rise. There will be global heating can result in decline in the global yield of major crops, leading to undernutrition. So there are social impact, which can also result in economic impact or social harmony aspects. So there are health, socio-economic aspect of climate change. Rise in the temperature can affect every human organ, and which I discussed, and that's another concern. This is a study or analytical study, so to say, which was published in the journal Nature on 28th April this year. So what these researchers have said and looked at, that they have done projections based upon available data. So they have said that if global temperature rise to 2 degrees Celsius by year 2070, then there is a risk of 10,000 to 15,000 pathogens emerging, and some of them will have an ability to cause human disease, which will be really a major challenge and a major risk. They have also estimated that these new pathogens on the rise of temperature will emerge from Asia and Africa. It has a practical implication. One, we need to do everything to reduce or prevent the rise in the temperature. But these are the Asia and African countries which need to pay more attention. But this is going to be a global challenge. So we need to focus upon all countries need to work together on this aspect. With this very broader overview and context, let me deep dive into One Health, what and why. So the context is that there is a global burden of around 2.5 billion infections and 2.7 million, it's 27 million deaths globally, which are linked to the various aspects of health and human interaction. Zoonotic diseases contribute to 60% of all new infection diseases, 75% new infection. So in this backdrop, WHO, Food and Agriculture Organization, Organization for Animal Health, UNICEF, and UN Systems for Influenza Coordination came up with the concept of framework on One Health. This was in 2008. And what is One Health? So the framework for One Health by these 5 organizations said that One Health is a collaborative effort of multiple health science professionals together with the related disciplines and institutions, working locally, nationally, and globally to attain optimal health for people, domestic animals, wildlife, plants, and our environment. So One Health is one concept which categorically outlines the linkage between the health of everyone around, humans, animals, plants, and the rational, the reason is, which I already cited or given you earlier, that we cannot see anyone's health in isolation. Health of animals, health of human beings, health of the forest is interlinked. And that's what the One Health concept talks about, this framework from 2008, that professionals, no matter which area they are working, they need to work together with their related discipline in the local level, national level, and global level. So One Health is an approach which recognizes the interconnectedness between the people, animal, plants, and their shared environment. It is a collaborative, multi-sectoral, and transdisciplinary approach The approach aims for a local, regional, national, and global levels with the goal of achieving optimal health outcomes for everyone. So this is a concept which has come actually in 20 years. This has become come to the forefront. WHO also defines in a certain way. In short or in summary, it is a concept which aligns human, animal, environmental health, and it is a concept which outlines that we need to work and people working this area need to work together. And it's an issue which is related to all sectors: zoonotic diseases, antibiotic resistance, food safety, security, vector-borne diseases, environmental health, chronic diseases, mental health, occupational health, all aspects. And if you look at the emerging zoonotic diseases which started and which are mainly from animal origin but cause human diseases, there are many which have emerged in the last 30 years. Vector-borne diseases are also related to one health issue which linked to the human, animal, and environment. Let me give you a brief overview. So, though I'm saying that One Health is a 20-year-old concept, first time the terminology One Health was used in the year 2003. But then the idea of the concept was long ago. Like Rudolf Virchow was a physician, politician, and philosopher, German philosopher, who first coined the term zoonosis, I believe in around 1848. And he outlined the importance of human and animal medicine. He said there is no dividing line between the two, they are interlinked. So that's as early as 1848. He also talked about regulation, other aspects. So Rudolf Virchow is accredited with some of the early work in this area, but the James Steele was the first veterinarian to receive the Assistant Surgeon General designation in the United States. He was the one who formed the first veterinary public health division in US CDC. So that kind of work started like 60, 70 years ago. In 1964, Dr. Kelvin Schwab published his seminal work on veterinary medicine and human health. He actually coined the term one medicine for both. So Schwab is one of the pioneers in this area. Between 2003, 2008, 2015, there has been a lot of work. One Health framework has been done. There has been commitment to eradicate some of the diseases. One Health Commission has been set up in 2011. Even in India, like One Health approach is recommended for pandemic preparedness. There was a big meeting in India in 2007 in December. 111 countries representative and 29 international organizations participated. They discussed about avian flu and pandemic influenza in that context. There have been global discourses meeting going on One Health. Coming back to the India, One Health in India, even in India, like in year 2008, there was a roadmap to combat zoonotic diseases in India. As part of that work, 11 priority zoonotic diseases were identified, of course, with focus on rabies. But 2008 and then 2017, when National Health Policy was formed, the National Health Policy of India did not even mention the One Health concept. So that's the kind of divide, that's the kind of gap but things are changing. Indian Journal of Medical Research published a special issue, entire full issue on One Health aspect. Union Budget 2021 and now 2022 has a focus on one like line item budget for One Health. A number of centers on One Health, including Nagpur, Hyderabad, National Institute of Animal Biotechnology, Hyderabad, have set up these centers for One Health, conducting translational research on animal health and human welfare. National Institute of One Health is coming up in India. Integrated public health laboratories are being discussed. So things are changing and improving. Roadmap to combat zoonotic disease in India focus upon national level, multidisciplinary approach. There is a multiple organization involved. That's what is required. But some of the initiatives which have been done have not fructified and not borne the fruit. So there's more needed. To come to the end of this talk, nearly end of this talk, 3, 4 slides. So this is a paper published in journal Lancet 2 months ago. After 2 years of COVID-19 pandemic, translating One Health into action is urgent. They have made a plea and have picked some of the ideas that in this paper, this is a slide from that paper. They say that how animal, environment, and human disease are interlinked. Whatever is in forest will come. The ecologic pyramid approach will return back. If disease come to human toward the bottom side, interhuman transmission means mutation, which can cause reverse zoonosis and global diffusion. So these challenges are real. We need to recognize. 3 years into the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, what are the lessons? Epidemics are one health issue. An efficient One Health surveillance system is needed at all levels. There is a need to develop an ambitious roadmap for each step of a pandemic response, and One Health should be an integral part of that. Need for going beyond past and current One Health project and strategic plan. Like there is a need to factor in what we learned from COVID-19 pandemic. Any pandemic preparedness response should have a One Health approach, health action plan. Predefined One Health infrastructure and task force should be part of crisis management and use of all diagnostic or control capacity. Revived and new approaches are required. The improving surveillance and prevention by reinforcing upstream and operational research, including on One Health, developing a worldwide and for every nation a comprehensive united vision for health, where One Health is factored in, ensuring adequate education and training in One Health, and a change in healthcare pandemic response framework. All of this is needed. So to conclude, every passing day, we are getting closer to the future pandemic, and future pandemic would be earlier than one can imagine. No one can predict, but it will not wait for 100 years or so because of the things which I listed. But the One Health is the only way to prepare and respond to the epidemics and pandemic ahead and to reduce their impact. One Health is the only way to ensure optimal health for humans, animals, environment, and planet, and that's what we should be thinking. There is a recognition of some of these facts, but there is insufficient action at various levels, and that's where we require advocacy. That's why we require champions who can speak about this. It is also time for a more thorough and act through a coordinated, collaborative way at all levels. I want to conclude with what Joshua Lederberg, he's a Nobel Prize winner, microbiologist who pioneered work in genetics. He was awarded Nobel Prize in 1958 at the age of 33 for his works in genetics. So he said the future of humanity and microbes likely will unfold as an episode of suspense thriller. And that suspense thriller could be titled Our Weights versus Their Genes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It was a great learning experience to hear from you, right from the listing of the emergence of various zoonotic diseases till the concept of One Health. Indeed, the expectations are high and we have continuing challenges. In times like this, One Health approach the big hope to mitigate the risk of upcoming pandemics. Thank you so much. If audience have any questions, they can please ask. You can raise your hands and mic. Mic is coming.
Hello. Your lecture was wonderful and but I know your opinion. Actually, one thing put out is a very important and future program with that. But this COVID-19, just to be have a past example, there is a two things I would like to say. If we have a very good preparedness, and second thing, right action at the right time. If we took these two things rightly, then I think that COVID-19, during COVID-19, we lost many lives. Actually, first case was reported in China around November 10, 2009. And in India, it was in February end. So we had 2 to 3 months time. But we spent that one and we should prepare that time and we should have done something in the one health. During that period, I think we could have saved many lives. What is your opinion?
Thank you. I think that's an important discussion. So, first part is that there is nothing which will bring down the risk of future epidemic or pandemics to zero. What we are talking about reducing the risk, like if there is a 100 diseases which can emerge, if we have a stronger World Health approach, maybe we will bring it down to 80, 70, 50, 40. So that's the one thing. If we work at the different level, integrated surveillance, we will be able to identify those diseases earlier. That's what the challenge is. So that's one part. Second part is that, especially in context of COVID, you raise the point that if we would have done differently, probably impact would have been less. And that is definitely true. And I also reflected about that, that those world was talking about preparedness and response when we had a pandemic 10 years ago. But there is no doubt the level of preparedness was relatively less. And it could have been done better, and impact would have been less. Like wisdom of hindsight is always very useful. But to be very concrete and tangible on this aspect, that when we say that how preparedness can reduce the impact, the answer is in COVID-19 vaccines. Now, what happened, like when world were talking about the disease acts around 2018, around the same time, 2017, there was something called Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness and Innovation, CEPI. This is a global coalition which has been set up to support the vaccine research and development. So if we have a COVID-19 vaccines within a shorter time frame, it was because the CEPI existed, the such kind of global mechanism of funding existed, but also for last 20 years, especially about Ebola and other diseases, the viral vector vaccine platform was already under research. Like it was under research for Ebola vaccine, and because when SARS-CoV-2 emerged, the platform was fully used. So the platform was being in the development for long. So that is a kind of preparedness. Similarly, mRNA-based vaccine, Pfizer and Moderna vaccine could be developed in shorter time frame, but there was work going on mRNA vaccine for last 20 years. So 20 years of research, what we forget, and that's what is preparedness is about. If we do similar kind of preparedness for disease detection, improving surveillance system, setting up laboratory, setting up integrated surveillance system, expanding capacity of institution, we can reduce the impact. So it's always preparedness and response, which to me translates into things. Preparedness means like if such eventuality happens, we will respond better, and response is that reducing the impact.
Thank you, sir. If anyone else wants to ask some questions, you can.
Good morning, sir. This is my question that the public should be aware about the preparedness that you were talking that for 20 years there was a preparedness for COVID vaccine and the pandemic came, the vaccine was there in a very short time. But people are picking some India is a large country and we have our views. So recently the videos regarding heart attack while dancing, and they are putting the blame on COVID vaccines. Yesterday only someone was speaking on that, so I just let them say. So this information that what preparedness is there in the world and in India, it should be propagated to the public at large, so that negativity against what positive things the governments are doing should not be there.
So, thank you, madam. This is something. So, I think information epidemic, especially they say that though this is not the first pandemic, but definitely COVID-19 is the first pandemic in the era of social media. Like all previous pandemics happened when social media was not that dominant. And when something happens in era of social media, like, the information passes fast and there is no way of verifying it. So actually, even before COVID-19 pandemic in January 2019, World Health Organization declared vaccine hesitancy as one of the top 10 global challenges. And now, when COVID-19 pandemic, this is the infodemic, information epidemic, and misinformation, wrong information has been identified as challenge. And once you identify challenge, that need to be addressed. So this is definitely a bigger responsibility on everyone of us to raise awareness and talk about these aspects. In fact, this is very famous story now that the Oxford vaccine trial, the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, which was trial like on 24th of April 2020, Dr. Elisa Granato, she was the volunteer, first volunteer for Oxford vaccine. Woke up, she got up from the bed and then read her WhatsApp message that the rumor was on the internet was that she had died. First volunteer of the export AstraZeneca vaccine died, which was completely true. She read that message. So that is the kind of information, misinformation was going on. Even on India, there was misinformation going on that the people who participated in vaccine trial died. And so all of that, this is a culmination and coming in new form, that heart attack and other aspects. Now, of course, these are the complex issues, and misinformation take advantage of complex issues. The fact is that in heart attack in India, in Indian population happens 10 years younger than Western population. This is called something called like thin fat, lean fat Indian. That though we look slim and fat, but we have abdominal obesity, and that increase various risks. So heart attack is common in Indian, and not only Indian, Asian population 10 years younger than other population. But then also Indian population is also very, median age of Indian population is high. Age is high, probability of heart attack is high, and that's why these incidents. But what happened in the COVID-19 pandemic, we started getting attention, and now those are being reported. But also another thing is that the Indian population is largely inactive. And what we should remember that exercise has a dose-response relationship. That if you have a exercise, it will benefit. If you walk 30 minutes, it will provide some benefit. 1 hour, it will give a more benefit. But then this has an inverse J-state relationship, which means that after a certain point it will plateau and it might harm you. So vigorous intensive exercise for someone who is largely inactive can cause a heart attack. And majority of time, like though that's not the only explanation, but it's like people who die in gym or early morning, they are genetically predisposed, other factors, but vigorous exercise is globally known for inactive people could be harmful. So it's a reverse J-shaped curve. Like it goes up, then flatten, and then it can harm you. So individuals who are not engaged in those kind of exercise should be mindful. But these incidents where people dying while dancing on the floor could very well be multifactorial. Vigorous activity can be harmful, and we don't have in India that kind of system. But there is no scientific evidence. I want to come to your point. There is no scientific evidence that there in various newspapers and various media are also saying this thing, publishing about this thing, that COVID-19 vaccine increases the risk of heart attack. COVID-19 disease is linked to the both vaccine also, and then people are saying disease. So there is no evidence on that. But these are the one of the many challenges. Health information passing on to right kind of people is very challenging. And it's not issue of level of education, it's not issue of what people do. For example, United States, at least theoretically, everyone is educated, 100% literacy. But they have a one part of population which has refused to accept vaccine. At least in India, 97% of adults had received one shot and 92%. So it's not as related to the societal context. And there would be some people who would have different opinions. But the idea is that we should have a more scientific discourse and general public should not be misguided by this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for beautifully explaining the query. Any questions from student side? BBSc students, masters and PhD students?
Good morning, sir. Thank you for your insightful words. Sir, during your lecture, you mentioned multiple times regarding disease X. So, being an epidemiologist, sir, when do you expect such an outbreak, and if at all it happens, and what will be the mode of transmission, sir? It's like aerosol, respiratory, what are the routes, sir? What do you expect?
COVID-19 is a disease that's what they were thinking.
Yes, sir. I have gone through a journal like in Lancet that was published in 2020 citing about this effect.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They had hypothesized that a disease would emerge, it could be respiratory in origin. It was given euphemistic name disease X because it was difficult to predict what it would be. So it's not about a particular disease which can be said disease X. This means that this is unknown. To characterize it, they said that a disease X, which could be this kind of terminology we use X, Y, Z for something unknown. So COVID-19 in a sense is one of the disease, but that's not the end of it. Disease X could be 10 disease X in the future. And the disease X essentially represents a disease which would emerge in the future and difficult to predict. To my understanding, COVID-19 is one such disease X which experts were thinking 3 years ago. It came earlier than anyone would have predicted and thought about.
Thank you, sir.
Professor, I have two queries. First one is COVID-19. Okay, we vaccinated for humans, everything okay. Now, vaccines were released for animals also. Do you think that it is eradicated from India, this COVID-19? COVID-19, it is eradicated. We vaccinated, so we are thinking that it now no infection. Why I'm asking this question? So last year we also did the postmortem of leopard. It is in the free-range condition. Okay, now this leopard everywhere this human habitat is moving, it is adapting quickly. So we got to be published also. This is the one query. The second thing is we are bringing the so many animals from what we say that Africa. Okay, number one recently we are had cheetah. There are several zoos, exotic animals, South America. There are so many things are coming. But what we do is for screening, once it is coming to the airport, some screening facilities of only few diseases, which we know in India, but majority of the diseases are not monitored. So how we go about what kind of policy is required? This is just few advice.
Okay, thank you. So the part one of the question that whether COVID-19 has disappeared. So the short answer is that no, and it will never be disappeared. So this is a respiratory virus, RNA virus, which has a high propensity for mutation. So there is no evidence that respiratory viruses once disappear. Like this is a coronavirus. Coronaviruses are known, like there are many coronaviruses, but human coronaviruses are known for since mid-1940. First common coronavirus was detected in mid-1940. And then first human coronavirus is called the 2003 SARS March coronavirus. So coronaviruses are widely known, they exist, and it will not be eradicated. Respiratory viruses do not disappear. Once detected, they will stay with us. As an example, what we see in terms of pandemic or disease that their impact. Now, the impact of SARS-CoV-2 is not going to be the same as it was earlier because people have been exposed to it. Logically, and it's widely known through prevalence that the SARS-CoV-2 is all parts of the country. If in this room, in this auditorium, we take nasal or throat swab of all the people, at least 50% might come up with a SARS-CoV-2. The virus is all around us. But it is not impacting in terms of severity. That's why it's an impact which determines after once virus is stabilized in a population, it's the impact of that pathogen determines whether it's epidemic, outbreak, or pandemic. And since virus is still circulating and will continue to circulate, but the impact has been mitigated. So that's why it is not epidemic in India anymore. Disease has become endemic. It will stay. There are many stories studied that we can't go into details. Evolutionary biologists have studied that how this will unfold. The rate at which respiratory virus mutate and modify is very much possible. 10 years down the lane, there would be many changes in virus, but if we look at the gene, we really do not know. But unlikely, there are possibilities that it will become like seasonal flu type of approach, and there could be combined seasonal flu and this coronavirus vaccine. So there are many unknown, but virus will not go anywhere. That's a short answer. Second question is about the US. Sorry. Wildlife. Okay, wildlife. So since the virus is already around and it does not does not transmit that different. There are some example of bees and other animals where it was other animals that have been found, but from animals to human transmission is not that common or that well documented. Alongside this, the impact has been mitigated. So all that is needed is keep learning, keep doing surveillance on this thing. But as of now, this is not an immediate worry. What is immediate worry is that many other viruses which have such potential. So we need to look holistic picture and analyze. As far as SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19 pandemic is concerned, for India or many countries across the world, where natural infection was high or vaccination is high, the bigger challenge is over. We cannot predict future, but the probability of any adverse impact is very, very low.
Thank you, sir. There is one query online. I'll read it out to you. Do you think One Health concept has reached to general public significance in India? If it is not, what are the factors do you think which have to be considered?
Well, first they need to reach to the policymakers, academicians, researchers, veterinarians, medical doctors, public health personnel. So it is still not reached to the policy level, and there is a long way to go to reach this concept to the general public. But I also think that this is always a journey. Once the action start in that direction at the policy and implementation level, it will be understood at the general public level. But as of now, in the immediate term, I see a bigger role for a scientific, academic, and public health community. And general public role is important, but at certain point of time, not for a time. Short, not at the general public, but that's not immediate concern for me, or at least my opinion. But it should definitely lead to the policy, program, academic, research, and scientific community level.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for explaining all the queries beautifully. May I now request Director IVRI, Dr. Trivenidan, to felicitate the guest speaker, Dr. Chandrakant Lahariya. A token of gratitude from our institute. Thank you, sir. The beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you. With these words, I request Dr. G. Sai Kumar, Head Pathology and in charge PMA, to propose vote of thanks, please.
Thank you. I feel privileged to have this honor of delivering the vote of thanks to the esteemed invited speaker today who is amongst us to deliver the Foundation Day lecture. It's indeed a momentous occasion of this institute celebrating its annual day after having traversed a path of scientific pursuit spanning a century and 33 years. While marking on its way many scientific milestones in the arena of veterinary and animal sciences. The concept of One Health has been there for quite some time now. As mentioned by Professor Lahariya there, it's going back to the times of Dr. Kelvin Schwabe, also known as the father of veterinary epidemiology, who recognized the intricate relationship between veterinary and human medicine. And he is also credited to have coined the terminology One Medicine. He was also the first one to establish the Department of Epidemiology at UC Davis, California. And it is this concept that finally took shape several decades, 2 decades later, going back to 2003 when the concept was propagated by all the international organizations and that this is the way to go ahead. And today we realize the need for building a robust structure and platform to work towards the goal of One Health and do all our production and consumption methodologies in a sustainable manner. Otherwise, the horrific consequences are before us, fresh on our mind. It is because of this overriding reason, just having come back or trying to put our lives together after the COVID is on the wane, that we chose to bring a medicine man again, an epidemiologist and a public health expert onto this stage. And we are indeed very grateful to Dr. Lahariya, who obliged and made the effort to travel chose to speak on this occasion from this platform. Sir, we wish all success in your efforts to address the public health issues in this country and to strengthen these collaborative efforts between specialists of veterinary medicine, human medicine, and environmental scientists. Sir, I express my sincere thanks from the entire scientific fraternity of this great institute, its staff and students. We look forward to having more such interactive occasions and discuss specially to promote the concept of One Health. I also wish to express our sincere thanks to the director of this institute, Dr. Trivenidar, for his meticulous planning in everything that is done at this institute. He's a man with a mission, and the mission is to deliver on all fronts so that the institute scales newer heights and assumes a position of eminence, not only in India, but in the global One Health picture. We are indeed having a leader who has very nicely articulated all the past and our future, what we are into and what we need to be doing to fill those gaps and to raise from strength to strength the research and academic pursuits at this premier institute of veterinary sciences. Sincere thanks to all the joint directors of the institute, station in charges, regional stations and campuses, heads of divisions, officers of the different sections, administrative staff, students, media personnel attending this Foundation Day oration lecture. Thanks to everyone concerned with the preparation of this event today. Sincere thanks to Professor Nagin Sharma, former Vice Chancellor of SQUAST Jammu, Dr. VP Singh, former Director of Nishat Bhopal, all my senior colleagues, alumni joining from various parts of the country and even abroad, those who are here with us on this momentous occasion, who have joined online to be one with us on this eventful day. Thanks to everyone connected with the organization of this event, and especially to those concerned with this committee that was comprising of so many staff and my colleagues here. Special mention of thanks to Dr. Sanjay Kumar, Dr. YP Singh of Arisel. Also sincere thanks to Dr. Imani, Dr. Karuna, Dr. Suman, Dr. Ajay Kumar, Mr. Soni, and everyone connected with this facility maintenance here. Thanks to one and all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request each one of you to please join us for sports events in ground of IDI.
There is one. You all are requested to please stay back for one group photograph. Outside.
कैमरे की पोजीशन चेंज कर लो.
It will be outside in the front lawn of our auditorium. Please gather there for the group photograph.
बंद कर देना ना, कोई चीज ऐसी ना हो बाद में.